number 39, Who, number 4062, Reverend Paynard, number 666, Melucifer, number 76, Trixie Titanium, number 781, Speed Bump, number 9, Bones, number 999, Toaster Brutal, and number 911, Scream.
All right, and our officials today for this mixer game are Bionic, Sushi, Calling 'em Fairly, Baconator, Scary Reed, Data, Van Rollon, Peter, Whamdolph, Eris, D-Rex, Romp, You Know Me, Parks and Rec, Kiss Off, Hyperlinks, Joysticks, and Dino. All right, and we are lined up, ready to start in this first jam of this mixer game. This should be a pretty exciting little mix-up. We've got skaters from all over the place. We have skaters from Uinta Roller Derby, from Wasatch Roller Derby, from FOCO. Let's see, who else? We've got some out-of-towners, which I apologize, I am not 100% sure which league exactly.
Jamming for black, we have 4062 Rev, and for white, we have 999 Slim Skady.
Oh, and that is a hard hit by Slim Skady into Valkyrie Vixen, getting lead jammer position.
Rev right behind him, getting through on the outside line.
And this is some fast derby. We definitely have seen a little bit of slower gameplay in our first two games, but you know, all the skaters got to learn how to work together, put on those brakes, do a little defense, get down tonight.
Up next, jamming for black team, we have 2324 Furious George and 927 Hit and Roll, who has been working on some 180 apex jumps, so I hope to see one today.
They're very good at the apex jumps.
Ooh, a nice hit to hit and roll from Annie Chokley on the outside line. George taking a fall but landing inbounds. Oh, and it looks like a cut to Furious George. And
Yeah,
hit and roll gets out as lead, and it is a power jam for white.
Being a 1-0 game, a power jam is exactly what the white team was looking for. Really what anyone looks for in this game we call Derby. That is when the other team has lost their jammer to the penalty box for some indiscretion they had on the track. And it is full reign for that white team to get as many points as possible.
Hit and roll calling it off. All right, next up, jamming for black, we have 999 Toaster Brutal, and for white, we have 70 Chevelle Bob.
All right, and the black team did lose one of their, lost their pivot to the penalty box, putting them at a deficit for this jam, giving Bob just the opening he needs to hop, skip, jump through.
Ooh, big hit from Suki.
Val says, that's a big no. You ain't getting my points. All right, and the pivot for the black team is out of the box, so they are at full strength again. But we are just getting lead jammer with 30 seconds gone in that jam. That was some very good defensive work by both teams. All right, and that is looks like a 0-0 point jam for that last one. That's always rough. You work so hard and nothing.
Nothing. All right, jamming for black, we have number 39 Who and number 999 Slim Skady.
All right, we got some good tripod work in the back here with Slam, Mercy, and Hill.
Khan drawing back Slim after a hit out on the outside line. Slim makes it through just ahead of Who. Ooh, and a big hit of some jammer on jammer action.
Yeah, I think a lot of people forget that jammers, they can engage each other pretty much at any time on the track, and that is a big part of the derby strategy not a lot of people exploit. So good on ya.
And that's a 0-1 jam with that 1 point going to white. And so far the score is 0 for black and 6 for white.
Yeah, 6 points in the first 5 minutes of the game is a pretty low-scoring game thus far. I think that shows that whoever put these rosters together definitely did a good job shaking it up, keeping this even.
All right, jamming for black, we have 4062 Reverend Paynard, and lead jammer escaped while I was saying that, 927 Hit and Roll.
Yeah, white is doing a really good job at getting that lead jammer position. It's just they are losing that jammer right after, and that is a 4-3 jam.
With 4 points for black and 3 points for white.
Good job on Rev putting the jets on. Sometimes you see jammers who don't get lead, that sense of sadness. So they just kind of skate. But no, you got to put on the jets because you can definitely sneak those points.
All right, jamming for black, we have number 2324 Furious George, and for white, we have 70 Bob.
Oh, and Bob is out as lead jammer for white. Again, lead is doing a great good job at grabbing that lead jammer status. This could be their first opening to get maybe a multi-scoring pass.
Slim Skady just recycling George over and over again. And George makes it through.
All right, I think I jinxed it. Only one pass. One hard-fought pass, though. That was a lot of work for those 4 points. These teams are vicious. This is some good derby.
Some good blockers out there.
All right, and with Fishhook on the jammer line for white team, we've got Valkyrie Vixen in black jamming. Two very accomplished skaters. White team is down there, pivot to the box, so it's been a little bit of a deficit. Not something you want to see with Valkyrie out there, but and Fishhook is taking their helmet cover off just to give the blockers a little bit of the confusion illusion. And we have the black team. Looks like they are going to run it to get at least one more pass. Like I said, we haven't had many multi-scoring passes. At Fishhook entering the pack, we'll see how long Valkyrie's going to fight at the back there to get those extra points for that second pass. But her team is doing a really good job in the front in a tripod. Very strong skaters with Bones, Jinx, and Rev holding Fishhook back. This delay in the call did also get the white blocker, Suki, out from the box, coming in like a wrecking ball, showing Rev that you gotta be watching.
Valkyrie
get sent
still
flying.
learning it, wanting to rack up some points for black team, which is pretty smart because they are behind in this moment of the game. And calling
All right, and Valkyrie does get 4 points. That is a 12-point jam for Val, the biggest or largest jam in this half thus far. I think on both sides. All right, this is a very physical game. This is incredibly exciting to watch. A lot of various skill sets and backgrounds being brought into play here. That's what makes these mashup games, these mixers, quite enjoyable. But also can seem a little discombobulated at times because, again, we all got to figure out what we want to do. And 16-21 is a very close game. This is not at all. No one is breaking ahead at this point. This is a one jam deficit. All right, we got number 999 Toaster Brutal jamming for the black team.
And number 927 Hit and Roll jamming for the white team. Again, hoping to see one of those 180 apex jumps. Hit and Roll staying to do some defense really quick so that the jammer doesn't break through.
It's some great tripod work, but Toaster Brutal is brutal. And some good O on the outside. However, Toaster did get sucked back into that white scrum and calls it off.
On Toaster, that the second from Psycho and Slam, both of them aged of juniors. Jamming for a white team, we have number 36 Merciful Skates and number 39 Who.
It is the battle of the 30s. Who will succeed? And again, this is a very physical game. There is a lot of bodies on the floor. Luckily, our floor is nicely mopped and smooth, so you just kind of slide and get back on your feet, get back into play, because it is some crazy out there.
Mercy making it back through the pack on his first scoring passes lead and decides to call it off before Who can get back to the pack.
Yeah, great jam by Mercy. 36 did come out successful, which makes sense because that's how old I am, so it's a pretty great number. All right, we got number 70, Chevelle Bob on the white team jamming.
And number 2324, Furious George for the black team.
That was some fancy footwork by George on the inside. Just about had it, but alas, did step out just a hair, just a centimeter, and so had to get recycled to the back, giving Chevelle Bob the chance to become lead jammer. But a very good hit out to the outside by Malucifer.
An illegal contact for George, so that is going to send her to the penalty box, giving White a power jam.
Got about 18 and a half minutes left in this half of the game, and it has been relatively close. A power jam is definitely something that can turn the tides if the black team does not get together to figure out how to minimize the scoring. And with someone like Chevelle Bob jamming, that is going to be difficult. Got to get together, got to talk to each other. And Khan says, nope, I don't think so. Recycles all the way to the back. Some great one-on-one defense. George back on the track, having a little bit of trouble at the back of that pack. George has great skills, very, very jukey, has a lot of great and amazing footwork that we are seeing right here, but we also have some really amazing blocking happening. All right, we are 20 points black to the 39 points white team with 17 and a half minutes left in this first half.
We have 4062 Rev jamming for black team and 927 Hit and Roll jamming for white team.
And Suki going for that last line of defense. However, getting
Rev
the penalty,
getting
I'm not
lead
quite
and
sure what
Hit
that
and
was.
Roll going for jammer on jammer action and succeeding. Rev deciding to call it off because there's no way he's letting Hit and Roll score any points.
All right, we got a pivot in the box for the white team, so they will be starting at a deficit with 3 blockers on the track. Black team is at a full 4 blocker group. Oh, we got some 999 action going on. I love this so much.
Slow skating, being patient and waiting for that open line to open up on the inside and getting lead jammer.
Oh, some more fancy twinkle toes footwork on that inside line of the apex. That is just, it's fun. It's just fun to watch. Oh, and up there we go again. Oh, and just holding on by the skin of their teeth.
I mean, it makes sense. A little fun fact about Slim is he was the 3rd highest scoring jammer in Georgia this past season.
All right, and white team is losing a blocker to the box. And there is a star pass to 1864 Con. Some good strategy, I think. Kind of stopped the bleeding there. There was some feet connected, and we did a little tumble bumble there on the outside line, but everyone was able to get back up. I mean, these packs are going real fast. Not gonna lie, there's not a ton of braking going on once they get going. We are playing some USAR's Derby. It looks like the white team.
And it looks like Slim was just waiting there.
We're seeing
for
what
one of his
penalties are
blockers.
assessed. They did split up quite a bit there at the end. So someone's gonna go to the box and think about it.
We have a mashup of number 3-6 for white and number 3-9 for black again. We saw this before.
All right, we got a timeout for the white team. After a really big 16-point jam, that deficit is definitely growing. But again, Derby is an amazing sport where this is not something that can be overcome. It can be overcome. We can have some big jams, and we're right back into a couple-point differential. Just got to keep your people out of the box, play really clean. And my only observation is things are just going really fast. Slow it down a little, reform together. They're kind of ping-ponging off each other, which is exciting to watch, I will say that. All right, well, some announcements we got here. So the BSR's last game of the season will be Skates and Smiles, an event to benefit our amazing officials and volunteers. Sponsored by Stubbs Dental. Join us Saturday, December 13th at 7 for a family-friendly night of fun. I love my teeth, so I think I'll go. All right, we got the battle of the 30s again with Merciful Skate number 36 against who? Number 39.
Merciful Skates making it out as lead again. And who makes it out of the pack? mercy with a clean pass through and decided to call it off before who can score any points.
All right, we're getting back to kind of the derby that we have been seeing for most of this game, where it's about a one and done. 4.0 points other team. We got number 70, Chevelle Bob, on the white team.
And number 2324, Furious George, on the black team.
Oh, and Chevelle
on the inside lane almost instantaneously, getting lead.
Has some very sneaky maneuvering around the outside. That is a very strong pack there in the back. We got Lex, Slam, and Psycho. Valkyrie looking to do some offense on the inside line, but not able to get around Lex, who is just giving them the business.
And a star pass to Valkyrie Vixen.
And Bob gets to go sit down and think about what he did for about 30 seconds.
And a power jam for black.
Oh, Valkyrie, one of my favorite Utah jammers. I'm not going to lie. It's a treat to see them jam. And this is just what black team needs for a little bit of a momentum shift. Black team just has to decide, what are we going to do to optimize? And they did it right. They just did a nice little sweepy-doo on the inside line to the out. And Bob is back on the track. We are going to go the full 2 minutes for this jam, since Bob did a no-no and went to the box. And Valkyrie is coming around for another pass. Looking just a little winded, but doing amazingly well. They can put on the jets right when they need to. And again, getting caught up with Slam and Psycho. Doing some great blocking at the front there, but able to split them in half and get out for 4 more points. All right, that was a great jam. Again, high scoring, 16-8, with black now at 36 and white at 6-7.
One of our sponsors is the Pie Pizzeria, a Valley landmark since 1980. Continues to reign atop the best pizza list because of the business philosophy that consistency, quality, and equitable pricing and great service are the keys to success.
Also, don't forget to check out our raffle table. We have a bunch of fun goodies and gift cards over there for our visiting skaters and those that live in good old Salt Lake City and the surrounding areas. Raffle proceeds do help our Midnight Terror, so please check it out.
Jamming for black, we have 4062 Rev, getting out and getting lead. And for white, we have 927 Hit and Roll.
And Rev is whipping around to make that first scoring pass, trying to get on the outside around Suki, but able to switch it up and go to that inside, get the full 4 points.
With some beautiful help from some beautiful offense for that last scoring pass.
Absolutely. Offense is a beautiful thing, especially when it works really well.
I love some good, well-timed offense.
Oh, the battle of the 36-39 again.
And who getting lead this time?
Yeah, that was a great sneak up the outside line there without any, just able to squeak by for that lead jammer position.
And that is who calling it off before Mercy gets back to score at any points.
All right, and it is only a 23-point deficit at this point. Again, like I said, things can change in an instant. These are amazing skaters. There's a lot of game left. I would not rule out any kind of outcome.
Jamming for black, you have 2-3-2-4 Furious George, and for white, you have 7-0 Bob. And that's George getting a cut track, leaving Bob with lead and with a power jam.
You know, this is a very tall group out on the track right now. Usually Chevelle Bob is kind of towering over people, but he's about average in that pack. I like it. All right, black team with a little bit of penalty trouble with their pivot going to the box, but George getting released. With Chevelle
Furious
only...
George back out on the track and in the pack.
And Chevelle back for another scoring pass, however, running into those blockers who just kind of get a little bit out of play. George was still on their first initial pass, but that is a brutal pack out there. I can see why you'd want to just get some points called off, take a little breather, drink some agua. All right, we got number 999, Toaster Brutal, jamming for the black team.
And number 927, Hit and Roll, jamming for the white team.
We have both packs at full strength, 4 blockers each. Hit and Roll with a tough hit by Kana to the inside and recycled all the way back. Engaging that tripod, though, with much force. Hit and Roll is one of the aged up juniors. You skated with them.
Yes, I did. We graduated the same year.
Your alma mater right there. They did move away for a season, but they are back, and we are happy to have them. All right, so that was a 4-point jam for the black team.
Jamming for black, we have 4062 Rev, and for white we have number 36 Merciful Skates.
And some sibling rivalry at the back of the pack, pivot on pivot action. And with that, Rev is out again as lead jammer. And everyone is
even more sibling rivalry. They just can't stop.
Some unresolved unresolved issues there. Just kidding. They're just having fun. They're having a good time. Like we all do. We just get out there and hit each other and have the best.
I love a good family rivalry. Whenever I'm out against my mom, I love going, "Where's my mom?" so I can go hit her.
All right, we have both packs at full strength again, with number 39 Who on the black team jamming against number 70 Chevelle Bob on the white. Both teams are seems like pretty consistently with the 3-1 or the tripod and 1 floater strategy, with kind of consistent outcomes. Again, it's, you know, both jammers tend to be getting out pretty quickly right at the get-go.
That last jam, they both got out about the same time. Bob just slightly faster, but Who is probably one of the fastest skaters I know here in Utah.
Yeah, you never know. Sometimes you want to go for those points, but again, if that other jammer is sneaky, they could possibly outscore you if you're not
Jamming
fast.
for black is 2324 George, and for white is number 999 Slim Skady.
And Slim through, getting 3 points so far, getting the full 4 and calling it off. Again, there are some big hitters out there today. This is a very aggressive game, but very smart as well. There's a lot of strategy being put into play out there by both teams, which again can be a little tricky because we all come from all over the place, and so sometimes you just don't know what each other are going to do. So they're talking, communicating, and they are doing some great things out there. This is some great derby to watch.
Hit and roll almost going for an apex jump there, but getting stopped by Khan. And doing a little hop to get through the pack there. Rev is your lead jammer in getting through and calling it off before hit and roll can get any points.
And black is just chipping away at that score differential there, at that deficit. Sometimes slow and steady does win the race. A big jam does help. But sometimes you just gotta take what you can get jam by jam. All right, battle of the 30s again. We got number 36, Mercy, against 39, Who on the jam line. Who's struggling a little bit at the front against Slam and Suki. That was a big kind of swing and a miss by Suki, and Who was able to just dodge around at getting out for lead jammer. Oh, and a big hit to the outside by Scream. Again, that is an intense pack. That was still only the initial pass for the opposing jammer, but Who calling it off after getting all of their points. Again, sometimes you just want them to get out of there. You did your job. Time for the next person.
All right, jamming for black team, we have number 2324, Furious George, and for white we have 70, Chevelle Bob. Bob getting out and not getting lead, getting a cut track, leaving black with a power jam. But unfortunately they cannot get lead because they took off that star because they thought that Bob got lead. I always hate when that happens. And that is the star pass to Khan.
Yeah, that was some intense lateral blocking at the back. Oh, very sneaky, very close. Looked like Khan jumped in right at the same, right square with the hips. So able to avoid that track cut, but that is. All right, and Chevelle Bob is on their first scoring pass. All right, we got Pivot Lex to the box for a multiplayer call. I have no idea what I didn't see it, but, you know, those things happen. All right, and Chevelle Bob, during the chaos of that and confusion of that call, was able to get through 4 points and is on their second scoring pass. Khan is on a scoring pass as well, but really having a tough time at the back there with Kills and Slim and Hellfire. Again, people are starting to settle in, learning how to skate with each other, slowing things down. And that is tiring.
We have 3 seconds to called a timeout, so that will be intermission.
All right, everybody, and that is halftime. That is an amazing time to go check out our raffle table. Again, we are going to announce the winners, half of them after the fourth game and the rest after the last game. It is $1 for one ticket or $25 for a wingspan. Please note that the restrooms inside are only for current skaters and officials. Everyone else, please go check out the porta potties outside. I hate to admit this, but they actually smell kind of nice. And there's a nice breeze. There will be some Malice tournament patches available tomorrow as well for purchase. Take a little memento home, put it on your jacket, on your bag, on your hat. Put it in a box and take it out for memories. The possibilities are endless. All right, and we will be back in about 13 minutes. How do you feel? Sorry, it's so hard. I can't hear you at all. So it's hard to... You're supposed to be able to hear each other through these, too. Again, we are 60 to 83 favoring the white team. That is only a 23-point deficit. Easily something that they can bounce back from. Hopefully they've had some good strategy talk, some pats on the back, some high fives, get them back rolling, and hopefully we'll see some close of that point spread.
Up next, jamming for black, we have 4062 Rev and 927 Hit and Roll for white. Hit and Roll making it through, getting lead. Rev right behind him.
Two very fast skaters. They are just zipping around there. Going to hit those packs at full speed. This may be a bit intense. Oh. Only one knee on the floor. That's a good outcome for how fast everything was going. That is 2 points for the black team. Breaking the seal of this second half.
Or that should have been 2 points for the white team, I believe. Jamming for black, we have 999. That is Toaster Brutal. And for white, we have Merciful Skates, number 36.
And that was a big hit by Suki at the front of that pack. Suki is a very good sniper in that way. Will come out of nowhere and just take you right off your feet. However, white team was able to score 4 points to black team 0.
Next up to jam for black, we have 2324 Furious George. And for white jamming, we have number 70 Bob. Was a little excited to start jamming and went a little early.
All right, and 2 very strong packs out there. Both jammers struggling, but Chevelle Bob able to break through at the front of that pack. for lead jammer status. With 2 black blockers in the box, that was a pretty easy pass by Chevelle Bob. White is also doing some great offense while also holding George back there at the back of the pack. George looking for that star pass. However, their pivot is in the box right now. But it does help to take that off, get a little discombobulation in there. All right, and that was an 8-point jam for White, taking us to 60-97.
And out next to jam, we have 2 aged-up juniors. For black, we have 3-9 Who, and for white, we have 927 Hit and Roll. Hit and Roll getting recycled back after almost making it through, and a big hit to Hit and Roll by Khan. Who made it out in that time and got lead jammer and is now back in the pack.
All right, and that is a big drawback by Rev.
And Who calling it off. Next up, jamming for white, we have number 3-6 Merciful Skates. And for black jamming, we have 2-2-3 Valkyrie Vixen.
All right, and that is lead jam for Valkyrie on black team.
Valkyrie
Oh,
Vixen
that is
getting
rescinded.
called on
There
the
was a forearm.
And lead is rescinded and then given to Merciful Skates instead. And it is a power jam with that forearm to Val in the box. Merciful Skates finding his way through the pack with some help from some offense. And Valkyrie Vixen is back in the pack from the box, breaking through pretty much immediately. Carl getting out and calling it off before Val can get too many points.
All right, and we have got Chevelle Bob and Rev on the track jamming for the black and white team. We've got 1 blocker in the box for black team.
Bob making it out as lead, and Rev followed right behind him and managed to pass him. So Bob calling it off before they hit the pack. Next up, jamming for black, we have 2324 Furious George, and for white, we have number 999 Slim Skady.
Oh, that was a good job staying in bounds with that one skate. That could have gotten real discombobulated. But Slim was able to stay in bounds, and that is their first scoring pass for 4 points.
George finally making it out of the pack. And Slim Skady calling it off before George can get any points. The current score is 67 to 113 with white in the lead. Next up, jamming for black, we have number 999 Toaster Brutal, and for white, we have number 927 Hit and Roll. Hit and Roll making it through, getting the lead. Toaster Brutal now out of the pack, coming around for a scoring pass with Hit and Roll calling it off. And it is the battle of the 30s again. Number 36, Merciful Skates, against number 39, Who. And Merciful Skates making it through the pack. And Who making it out right behind. And Merciful Skates calling it off. Next up, jamming for black, we have 4062 Rev, and for white, we have number 70 Chevelle Bob. Rev making it through, sneaking on that inside line, getting lead jammer. Or nope, never mind, he gets a cut. It is a power jam for white now. With a star pass to Slim Skady. Making this a full 2-minute jam. Hitting out Slim Skady, and Rev sneaking through on the inside line, but not quite making it through and getting hit out of bounds. Ooh, and a big hit to Slim by Screen. Trying to get a cut called on Slim, but Slim was too fast to re-enter, so it was not a cut.
Oh, and that was some beautiful footwork on the inside line. Spinning around for 4 points. To white team's 2. That made it a black team 8-point jam, white team 10. We have about 17 and a half minutes left.
Jamming for white, we have number 972, Hit and Roll, and for black, we have 223, Valkyrie Vixen. Hit and Roll making it through on the inside line.
And Valkyrie pushing their way at the front of the pack. That was a gigantic jump.
From Hit and Roll.
That was some feet above some hips there. That was wild. I don't think I've ever been able to jump that high. All right, and we have a team timeout for the white team. Again, go check out the raffle table. It is $1 for one ticket or $25 for a wingspan. There are some great prizes over there, some tattoos, some piercings, some Home Depot or a Home Depot gift card, some goodies from the Hive Market as well. Lots of stuff for people in town or out of town.
Make sure you check out BSR's last game of the season, Skates and Smiles, an event to benefit our amazing officials and volunteers, sponsored by Stubbs Dental. Join us Saturday, December 13th at 7 p.m. for a family-friendly night of fun. And the team timeout turned into an official timeout. White Jammer has some very ecstatic jammers. They can't wait to start jamming. Number 36, Merciful Skates for white team. And number 999, Toaster Brutal, jamming for the black team. Toaster Brutal making it out as lead jammer. Carl getting a high block and getting sent to the box. And a beautiful apex jump from Toaster Brutal.
Oh, and jumps again. Jumps for days. We're on 8 points and calling it. I'm sure picking up a few more points on that last pass with 2. That is a 10-point jam for black, bringing us to 85 to 124.
Jamming for black team, we have number 911, Scream, with a power start. Less than 10 seconds since that white jammer is standing. Merciful Skates back on the track with Scream out as a lead jammer. Never mind, that is a forearm call against Scream, leaving it as a power jam for white.
And this will be a full 2 minutes, as Carl had taken the helmet cover off. And that is 4 points for white.
Scream getting back on the track, about to hit the pack. Some pretty fancy footwork on the outside line, sneaking through with a nice hit out from Suki.
All right, we got a lot of penalties all happening at once. It looks like we got one white skater and one black skater in the box. Khan on the black team in the box and Suki on white team.
The pack is just running around, trying to buy time, maybe doing some offense.
Little jump there to clear on the inside. Like 2 seconds left in this jam.
And a last minute direction call to the white pivot. Jamming for white team, we have 927 hit and roll, and jamming for the black team, we have 4062.
All right, we've got a official timeout. And during this timeout, let's talk about pizza. So the Pie Pizzeria, a Valley landmark since 1980, continues to reign atop the best pizza list because of the business philosophy that consistency, quality, equitable pricing, and great service are the keys to success. All right, we've got about 13 minutes left in this half. We are 93 black, 132 white. And Rev making a quick lead.
Pretty much immediately. And hit and roll sneaking through on that outside line as Ren Paynard enters the pack again.
All right, and that is 4 points for the black team, 0 for white.
Next out, jamming for white, we have number 70, Chevelle Bob. And jamming for black, we have 2324, Furious George. Chevelle Bob getting a cut track, giving black team a power jam. And Furious George getting out and getting lead jammer.
And the white tripod is doing some good work at the front there, not allowing for that pass or killing this power jam.
Scream trying to do some offense, and getting a direction.
And Suki with the long drawback. George just looking like they may have gone, we're going to get a cut track, but able to get off the track to the infield to get back on the track behind Suki.
George calling it off before Bob can get through and get any points.
And that's 3 points for black.
A Up next, jamming for white, we have number 36, Merciful Skates. And jamming for black, we have number 39, Who.
All right, and that is only 2 on the track for black, but quickly it looks like Scream did get back into play. Lucifer standing up ready to get back in there and do some work. That is 2 points white, 0 black. And black just breaking the century mark at 100 points to white's 134.
Jamming for white team, we have number 927, Hit and Roll. And jamming for black team, we have number 223, Valkyrie Vixen.
All right, it looks like black was not able to fill the skater in time. Khan did try to get back on the track, but the whistle had already blown, so they are just going to be down 1 blocker, which is not great when you have Hit and Roll out there, as they are just jukey and jump all over the place, especially with Val now going to the box as the jammer.
And an awesome apex jump from Hit and Roll getting past green.
A very amazing jump there. All right. And we have Valkyrie
Another
back on the
apex
track.
jump. And then a little hop following after to get past those blockers. Valkyrie Vixen following suit and doing an apex jump to get past for an initial. Some beautiful offense getting Hit and Roll. Some final 4 points so that he could call out the jam.
All right, we got number 999, Toaster Brutal, on the track for the black team.
And number 999 on white, Slim Skady. Slim Skady sneaking through on that inside line and getting a cut.
All right, and black team looking to do some offense there to get their jammer through the pack, start scoring some points. Close that gap. There's still 7 minutes left in this second half.
And it looks like there was a star pass on black team to number 9, Bones.
And a successful star pass to Bones.
Bones out of the pack and Slim Skady out of the box with no lead jammer. So it is a 2 full minute game. Or a full 2-minute game.
That was a good hit out on the outside line by 700 Lex. Just when you think you're going to get out, Lex will come out of nowhere and give you a good old bop. All right, and there's only about 25 more seconds left in this 2-minute jam. And white team with 8 points. This was a scoring pass for Bones, and so black team will get some points out of this. But Slim is definitely showing some agility there and just getting right through that pack.
Out jamming for white, we have number 36, Merciful Skates. And jamming for black, we have 223, Valkyrie Vixen. Some offense from Scream on the outside, and Valkyrie Vixen gets through as lead.
All right. It looked like we may have had a skater down, but they were able to get back up and on the track. So we are continuing with this jam, and Val doing some good footwork there to get through for another 4 points.
And a big hit from Speed Bump.
All right, we got an 8, or actually we got a 5-point jam for black and a 4-point jam for white. Got number 23-24, Furious George, jamming for the black team.
And number 927, Hit and Roll, jamming for white team. Still waiting on that 180 apex jump.
Black needs to check their box as they do have one extra person. Melissa Ferd jumping off there so that they are all good to go.
And Hit and Roll out as lead jammer. Slim doing some offense on Con. Getting Hit and Roll out again.
All right, we've got some good pack work going into play there for the black team, able to push Hit and Roll to the outside, stopping that pass.
Rev making it through the pack on a scoring pass and a star pass from Hit and Roll to Slim. It looks like there was a star pass on black too.
And another pass for Rev.
About 25 seconds left of this jam.
We're just going point for points with these two jammers. Two big jams for both, 16 points for both.
Slim Skady getting through that last pass of the pack, making it look effortless.
All right, we got about a minute 41. This could either be the end or close to the end of this mix-up game of Malice 2025. Two 20-point jams on both sides. That is pretty remarkable.
Jamming for white, we have number 70, Chevelle Bob, and for black, we have 39 Who. And Who is out as the lead jammer, getting through on that inside line. Big pile over in turn 1, with Bob out of the pack as well now. Psycho, the last one to beat.
Beautiful spin by Who at the front. All right. And with Who in the lead, I would guess that they would be running this jam, get as many points as they can. Or no, they want to get one more jam out of this. That is 136 black and 188 white. All right, so after this we have, let's see, look at my schedule here. We have the Palouse versus Foco game starting at 4 p.m. And then at 6 p.m. the Northern Arizona versus Foco. All right, and this is our last jam of this half of this game. Number 999, Toaster Brutal against 36. Mercy on white. And that last line of defense with Suki is no easy feat to get around, especially the Suki Lex combo and add slam in there, and that is definitely a tough one. All right, and with that, that is the end of this game. Black 136
and white 188.